Jai to our divine source of nourishment, or Jai to our source of divine nourishment, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rokko Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and our grandfather, our grandfather, Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and to Srila Gokishodas Babaji Maharaj, to Srila Satchitananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and our whole Rupa Nuga Sampradaya. So, straight away, first of all, Jai to our Rupa Nuga Sampradaya Ki Jai, and to Sriman Mahaprabhu Ki Jai, Sri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. And Jai to all of you, sincere students. I am also a student, but maybe not so sincere, that we do not know. It's for others to say, but we can see that you are sincere students. And we've come to the class, not my class, but we've come to the class of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev to hear something about what we should do with our lives to get on the train, the express train, home to Krishna, to Goloka Vrindavan, without getting off at any station on the way. Hare Krishna. So first of all, a big welcome to all of you. And Mukunda Prabhu, first to give a chat, my Dandava Pranam to Maharaj and all the devotees worldwide. And I know someone in Brazil who says, but Brazil is not part of this world. It's part of the hellish planets. Oh, no. But Brazil is part of this world. And why hellish planets? Only for the sense that we hear, but I know you, none of you may have this experience, that Brazil is a country of much enjoyment, emphasis on enjoyment. Oh, dear. And you are famous for the Rio Carnival, etc. So maybe there's a little bit of truth to that. But the truth is that every country is the country of enjoyment. And so hellish in the terms of the standard of quality of life of those who know heaven, for those who know the heaven of Goloka Vrindavan, then the standard of life in all countries of the world, then it is very substandard. And God knows it. This very great soul, this very great person, God, above our head. So what does he do? He comes to rescue the most fallen souls. So we may claim our country is the most fallen or anything else, but at least we can individually claim that we need rescuing. That is a fact. So this makes room for the guide, and when that guide is Krishna himself coming as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then we can pay good attention to what the guide has to say to us. And Guru Maharaj did give this example of getting on the train to Goloka Vrindavan. But also this example of not getting off the train while it's continuing and going down some sub-branch. In India, they have the main branch, main line, but they have the sub-branch, the sub-lines. Sub-line, not sure, but the sub-lines, the branch lines they're called. But in Brazil, not many trains, goods trains, but passenger trains, not so many. But there's a main line and there's branch line. And we are not to think, oh, look, this scenery looks very nice. Let me get off at this branch line. I'll take this branch route and go down and explore and see what kind of enjoyable things are in the next village and the village after that. Rather, we'll stay on the express train, the direct train, and see the journey through. If we go down a subline, we just waste our time. We have to again get back to the main line, again board the train, again continue on the journey. So this example was given by Guru Maharaj and explained to further about the sub-branches, the branch line, by Srila Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj. Hare Krishna. And some history in my history books, that is yesterday history, in the sky, in the airplane. Then the announcement came on from the captain saying, on this flight, we have free, fast Wi-Fi for everyone, which I was very surprised about. And so I didn't really believe it. So when we were at whatever it is, 3,000 meters or whatever it is in the sky, then I thought, well, I'll try and see. And it was free, it was fast, and it was internet. And I was quite surprised that people are watching movies off the internet in the sky for free. So something's changing in the world. And so we were actually editing the kirtan boards. I was editing the kirtan boards for the London website with NASA while up in the sky. Maybe NASA's with us. But we were able to have a full conversation, send and receive pictures, the screenshots of the boards and other things. And it was quite interesting. And when I looked out of the window, then when I looked down, it was all white, the top of the clouds. And when I looked up, it was all blue and some white, going into infinity. Infinity is a long way. And then we are going between the white and the blue. And then again, it comes in your mind that the pilot, we have faith in the pilot when we get on the plane that we are going to go to a particular destination. And we have faith that he knows when he's in that big, vast, infinite space, that he knows how to find his way to the specific point that we are going to. So with fast internet, then the other thing with the fast internet was we are also these Aer Lingus, so give some credit to Aer Lingus, the Irish airline. And it has on the screen on the back of the seat in front of you. So I clicked the map just to follow where we were. And guess what? The map showed we just left New York 28 minutes ago or something, and we were heading up northeast. And then I'd sent a message. Actually, it wasn't to NASA, to someone else. And I said, well, I have faith that the pilot knows where he's going. Then I sent us the photograph of the back of the seat. And I said, my faith is dwindling. If the pilot is using this map, my faith is dwindling. But most of the... Yes, Jonathan, come. We've
Jonathan's from Brazil.
Huh?
Jonathan's from Brazil.
Yeah, Jonathan is from Brazil. I'm in Ireland, in Shannon. I know you never heard of Shannon and probably never heard of Limerick. The flight landed in Shannon, and then the devotees met at the airport, and then we came. So the pilot did come to the right place. But anyway, when we were traveling, lots of analogies we can think of. Just one moment. Turn off. Okay, we're trying to get the humble devotees to come near. So this is Jonathan. Maybe you met before, because Jonathan, we met in where? In London?
In London.
Yeah, we were in London, and we may have been on the Zoom together from Curitiba in Brazil. So you have an inside person in London when he was there, but now an inside person in Limerick. And we're actually in the new temple room in Limerick, and it's only for bhajan, for kirtan, etc. And it's not quite finished, but it's in pretty good condition. It's getting there. And yesterday we did an evening program right here in this hall with the devotees attending, etc. And this morning we've already done morning program here up until now, and then this is not exactly inaugurating, but we're in this temple room, and it's super sweet. It's really very gentle and beautiful. So just
O problema
one
é que meu pai viajou para ver o pai da Fabíola e a minha tia está lá.
Oh yeah, we have to. I have to. Okay, are you going to speak Portuguese?
Just are they listening? Yeah?
Yeah, but I have to find the interpretation. Okay, interpretation. Okay, now I'm going to put Jonathan on the Portuguese channel. So you can translate. Oh, you don't have to translate because I won't. Well, no, you can translate to English. Oops, you can translate to English for the others who know English here, but I'll just have heart to heart and try to understand what's being said. So here's Jonathan on the Portuguese channel, and he can share something with you. You're on the spot, okay? About Krishna consciousness, of course. Okay.
Dandavats, todos aí no Brasil, né? Eu cheguei aqui na Irlanda há 2 anos e o primeiro local que eu achei que me abraçou foi o templo aqui, né? E desde então eu estou aqui aprendendo, crescendo e na consciência de Krishna, e tive a oportunidade de ir para Londres também, para o templo, e é isso. Hoje eu vou trabalhar, eu vim aqui para o Kirtan, e gostaria só de dar um Hare Krishna para todos, Dandavats, e muito bom conhecê-los todos. Espero um dia poder aí no Brasil, ou vocês aqui na Irlanda, espero conhecê-los pessoalmente.
Dandavats, Prabhu, obrigada por ter se juntado a nós.
Dandavats, eu que agradeço, muito obrigado.
Okay, so we're switching back to the English. Okay, we're back on the English channel, but okay, don't you move. I'm going to move so we can see us both. And, let's see. Where are we? Okay. Hare Krishna, but we've come to Brazil and we're in Brazilian Association. And so this week, I wish to first give the microphone over to you, because I remember last week I didn't give any opportunity. We chatted away continually. So please let me pass the microphone over to you this week, first of all, and let's hear some news, some devotional news from around the country. Hare Krishna. By volunteers. Somebody volunteer. Come on, we need a volunteer. Vrindavaneshri did his driving, I think, so don't put her on the spot. Ananda Leela Devidasi, I know you're always ready to share something.
Yes, Maharaj, but we have Mitravinda and Uriel wishing to...
I was thinking that also. I was thinking that.
I'll give the words for them.
Please.
Dandavats, everyone. Dandavats, Gurudev. It's been a while, so I'm so happy to be here, finally, to be able to join. I actually have a question because I've been participating on the Chaitanya Charitamrita for the past few days, and I kept thinking about it, and I do have a question that I wasn't able to ask in the past days. So
Yes.
can I ask a question about this?
Please do so. Yes, I'm happy to hear the question. If I can answer, I will answer.
I haven't been able to read the book because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but it would be important to have someone instruct to read together, is it? So I haven't been able to participate on the meetings, but I started to read The Golden Volcano. And I want to know if Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew from the moment he came here that who he was, if he knew who he was, and if so, if something changed, or if the mood of devotion was always prevailing. And I want to know about that. I wonder how it was to know something but still feel differently, to still feel in the mood of serving, right?
Actually, that's definitely an interesting question. And I can say that I think a lot of us have had these thoughts in our mind. How can the Lord just be playful and even a little bit naughty for so long before he shows his devotional nature? But we have to put this into the category of inconceivable. And Mahaprabhu himself gave the name of the teaching, which he's giving as the conclusion of Vedic knowledge. First word is achintya veda veda tattva, that his philosophy is inconceivable, and his nature, how he showed his nature, changed throughout his, from, you can say, baby, because he did appear as a baby, all the way through to his very final pastimes, how this changed. It is achintya. But the Lord knows who he is always. It's not that he becomes God. He knows who he is always. But he's reciprocating with the devotion of his devotees. And hence, just as Krishna shows he has a mother and father, then the Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he's showing he's got a mother and father in order to reciprocate. And when he's a baby, then he's reciprocating with his mother and father, the elderly, the older persons. Everywhere he's got some interaction. And that's known as the parental or the vatsalya rasa in the Sanskrit. And when he's a baby too, then he's drawing out the holy name from everyone, including the ladies who come to see him. And they discovered that, oh, this boy, he's crying and crying. He won't stop crying, except when we chant the name of Krishna, when we chant the Lord's name, then he stops crying. So Mahaprabhu had his way to draw that affectionate mood from the ladies. And he became known as Gaura Hari. Gaura Hari. They gave him this nickname. And then presently Sachi Devi gave him another nickname, which was Nimai, because he was born under a neem tree. And Sunda then got added because he's so beautiful. And so when he's young and growing up, then also he's showing different reciprocation with the devotees. And then he becomes a student, and then he becomes a very proud student because he was smarter than all the others. But all the time, he knows who all his associates are. But Krishna is inconceivable. Mahaprabhu is Krishna, plus he's Krishna and his energy, his ecstatic energy, Radharani. But he goes through all of these transforming, just as your baby, you see, your baby is going to go through transforming from being a little baby to being certainly a very good boy, maybe a little naughty sometimes, and then growing up all the way. And then before you know where you are, he's going to be taller than you. He's going to be a man. He's going to be making his mark in the material world, his contribution. So Krishna, he's got all of these moods as well. Otherwise, where does all this reciprocation in our life with our family come from? So everything is in Krishna. The ocean, he is the embodiment, the emporium of all rasa. And so rasa means simply mood of worship. So it's inconceivable that Mahaprabhu showed that he wasn't a devotee, as it were. No, I'm just a scholar. All you Vaishnavas, okay, you carry on, but I'm a scholar. And the devotees, they were very sad. It was a kind of separation. That Mahaprabhu's brilliant, he's beautiful, he's a genius, he's wonderful, but he's not a devotee. So some kind of separation too from him being a devotee. And then when everyone, including Gadadhar Pandit and others, when they're all kind of very frustrated that Mahaprabhu's not a devotee, he should be, but he's not listening to us. But when he came back from Gaya, the occasion when he did Pinda, again following the formalities given in the Veda, doing something for the benefit of his father. On that pretext, he went to Gaya, and there, during those travels, he met Ishvara Puri. And he there showed that, oh yes, now I need to be a devotee. He took initiation from Ishvara Puri, and when he returned to Navadip, all the devotees, the existing devotees, they were super happy that Mahaprabhu now is showing himself as a devotee. And so gloriously then they started Harinam Sankirtan, originally in the house of Srivas Pandit. But he knew who he was. But Krishna is Krishna, Mahaprabhu is Krishna, and Mahaprabhu, he's reciprocating with the devotees in Gaura Leela, which is parallel, two parallel pastimes. One is Gaura Leela, one is Krishna Leela. And we could say similarly, Krishna, when he was a baby, did he know he was creating, the origin of creating all the universes and everything? I mean, yes, he knows everything, but he's the affectionate reciprocator of the love of his devotees. So it's inconceivable. This is the point. It's amazing, but it's inconceivable. And Advaita Acharya, he is the one who called for the Lord to come. The world, the whole consciousness of the masses was absolutely in material life with no interest in anything beyond the material things of this world. And how bad it was, we perhaps can't understand because we think this world is bad now, but there is all over the world some actual, like prayerful consciousness. Now it's not that, if you say the name of God or say that there is God, that you're going to be persecuted or anything else like that, maybe people will say, I don't believe you. I don't believe in God. Well, maybe they may, but they're also understanding that we've got our freedom to think about these things. But in the time of Advaita Acharya, before Mahaprabhu's appearance, then we understand that Bengal and the population, the general population, they were not interested in the Lord whatsoever. And any talk of the Lord, that was just left to the side, shunned. And basically, God consciousness didn't exist. And so in such a serious condition, Advaita Acharya, he prayed to the Lord, to Krishna. Only you can rescue the people right now in this age of Kali. And it was by his prayers that Gauranga came, Nimai, under the neem tree, or officially his name was Vishvambar, given by the family astrologer. But he appeared, and the moment he appeared, Advaita Acharya knew it in his heart. Haridas Thakur knew it in his heart. And they chanted and danced, and no one knew why except them. So they know that Krishna has come. And then presently, Advaita Acharya and his wife and so many, they came to have darshan, to come to be with this child Nimai. And Advaita Acharya knows this is Krishna himself, and he's showing himself in this baby form. And so much so that Advaita Acharya, he was so powerful. I mean, he was supremely powerful. But if he bowed down to a deity, go to a temple, they have the deity, the form of the Lord. But if it was only a statue and Krishna was not there, then that statue would shatter, break into pieces. That it's fake. Krishna's not been invited to come there. He's not there. It's just a statue. And so this was the Advaita Acharya's reputation also. Everyone knew it. And when Advaita Acharya came to the house of Jagannath Mishra, where the child was born, Jagannath the father and Sachi the mother, he came there, he saw the child, he knows who this child is, playing as a baby. And Advaita Acharya, who was elderly, he bowed down to that child, bowed down, and Sachi Mata's mother, his mother Sachi, who knows that if Advaita Acharya bows down to a deity and Krishna isn't there, it shatters. And Sachi Devi, she was completely, no, don't bow down to my child. What's going to happen to my child? But instead of the child shattering, the opposite happened. He put his little foot onto the head of Advaita Acharya. And everybody was like astounded. So there are those who know, there are those who understand, and it is another inconceivable, beautiful world. And it is that world that we are being guided to. And only the Lord knows the reasons behind any of his activities, but one activity is a lesson, like in so many, it fulfills unlimited other purposes. And that may be according to the viewer who is understanding those activities too. But the childhood pastimes of Mahaprabhu are super wonderful. And when you do come to start to read Chaitanya Charitamrita, then do also, when Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj says, Vrindavan Das Thakur has already explained this pastime very beautifully and elaborately in Chaitanya Bhagavat. And then Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, says, I won't repeat that. Why? It'll only make this book bigger. Already this is perfectly presented, then naturally we'll give our attention then to that section of Chaitanya Bhagavat. We'll go there. We've been told beautifully it's presented. Then we read that, and then we again come back to where Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj is continuing in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And I know in Portuguese you have Chaitanya Charitamrita, but I don't know if you do have Chaitanya Bhagavat. And very good, you read Chaitanya, the Golden Volcano of Divine Love first, and we are getting that essence, the substance, everything there. But when you come to read Chaitanya Charitamrita, really, you'll come to see, oh yes, I remember Srila Sridhar Maharaj, Srila Guru Maharaj referred to this. And then you will find a whole expanded description of these pastimes there. And sometimes too, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj, he does refer to some incident. And he says, oh, are you going, is it? Oh, give me one moment. And and Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj also, he gives an indication. He says, I'm telling you this pastime, but already it's described in more detail. I'm giving a summary, but it's described in more detail by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. And so he's also giving some, condensed understanding, and then to Vrindavan Das Thakur will go. So similarly, when you're reading Guru Maharaj, you understand that Guru Maharaj is giving in a short way. And when you go to read the pastimes that he refers to, you'll see them expanded very gloriously. And we like glorious. It is a good idea. I just have to go for a minute. This is, now it's, I do not know, coming up to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Maybe, I'm not sure the time, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But devotees are going. We've had a morning program and we'll have another program. Please excuse me for a moment. You please all be with each other for a couple of minutes. I mustn't ignore the guests, the devotees. Please excuse me. I'm a monster to you, but I need to be a devotee here. Please excuse me, all devotees. And I can say, Anna Krishnan, she's translating. She can't. Ananda Leela Revinasi, take over the microphone. Give some Hari Katar on your side, share some news. I'm coming back in a minute.
Pessoal, eu acho muito incrível, né, quando o Madhusudan Maharaj faz isso. Assim, a maneira como ele olha para cada devoto, né, ou mesmo para quem não é devoto, e ele dá toda a atenção dele, assim, ele realmente para tudo e olha para quem está interpelando ele, né? Isso para mim nossa, assim, um baita de um exemplo. E aí, Guaranataraj, como é que foi sua aventura pelo Brasil?
Caraca, logo eu. Foi massa. Foi muito legal. Várias coisas aconteceram. Eu gosto muito, assim, de ouvir o que a galera achou do movimento, né? Então, eu vou aproveitar, assim, meio que apresentar, mas eu sei que ele vai se apresentar daqui a pouco, é o Uriel. O Uriel é um amigo meu, assim, a gente já trocou algumas ideias antes, mas no festival de yoga lá de Paraty, a gente conversou durante 3 dias, quase umas 30 horas, assim, intervaladas, né? Então foi muito legal, assim, a gente conversou muito sobre a parte filosófica de Bhakti e tudo, e ele tem uma questão muito legal para trazer para o Maharaj. Eu falei, velho, você que tem que trazer, então levanta a mão, na hora que aparecer a oportunidade, você fala, e aí a Anu Krishna traduz para o Maharaj, vai dar tudo certo. Aí na segunda etapa da viagem eu fui para Natal. Aqui não tem ninguém que estava no retiro lá em Natal, mas foi muito legal também. Eu fiquei uma semana com o pessoal lá. A gente fez algumas atividades e conversou um pouco também sobre Bhakti Yoga, a filosofia védica, mas foi uma coisa mais suave, menos específica, assim, foi mais uma introdução ao pensamento transcendental, vamos colocar assim. E aí depois eu fui para Caruaru, fui para Recife, e aí em Recife eu encontrei com a Anu Krishna, com a Malati, com a Isha, a Priya Sundari estava lá também, a Bhuvana Sundari também estava lá. Às vezes eu misturo Priya com Sundari, eu misturo o nome das devotas, mas elas sabem quem é que estavam lá. Então, foi muito legal. A Anu Krishna pode falar até um pouco mais. A Malati também, ela que recebeu a gente. E foi super legal lá na casa dela, lá em Gravatá. A gente ficou um dia em Recife também. Aí a gente visitou os lugares de peregrinação, né? Os lugares onde o Madhusudan Maharaj foi. Então a gente foi lá em Olinda, na ladeira que ele disse que é a maior ladeira do mundo. Aí a gente foi lá e as meninas fizeram uma corridinha na ladeira. Foi bem legal. E aí a gente também teve a oportunidade de conversar bastante, né, sobre a vida de cada um, assim, e a forma como a gente faz os ajustes na própria vida para trazer a consciência de Krishna, para poder não ser tão louco, né? Acho que quanto mais devoto a gente vira, mais louco a gente fica, mais desajustado com a sociedade a gente se torna. Então, quando a gente se encontra, quando a gente se junta, é muito legal para a gente trocar essas experiências de ajustes. Eu lembro, acho que Srila Sridhar Maharaj fala, vida espiritual é ajuste constante. Então a gente está a vida toda fazendo ajustes para trazer a consciência de Krishna para dentro de casa, para distribuir para os amigos, para distribuir para quem está perto da gente. Então, todas as viagens e todas as experiências são oportunidades de serviço fantásticas. E eu agradeço muito pela associação que eu recebo pelo caminho e pela oportunidade que eu tenho sempre de todos os lugares que me convidam levar a Shila Gurudeva, levar a consciência de Krishna, levar um pouquinho da minha prática espiritual mesmo para os meus amigos, né? E para as pessoas que de alguma forma estão interessadas. Então são sempre janelas de oportunidade muito boas assim de pessoas que estão através do yoga, através da meditação, através da alimentação, mas elas estão se sensibilizando para alcançar um lugar dentro delas onde cabe a consciência de Krishna e como elas podem desenvolver esses princípios espirituais dentro de casa e compartilhar através do exemplo. Não que eu seja um bom exemplo, mas eu estou aqui atrás dos bons exemplos. Então, minhas mais humildes e respeitosas reverências a Madhusudan Maharaj e a todos os devotos que estão aqui. Um grande abraço para todo mundo. Até mais. Haribo.
Okay, Hare Krishna. So I was able to catch a little bit of that, so please excuse. But our devotees, some of them have come a long way and they have to go back a long way and go to work, all these different things. So please excuse. But in the meantime, I gathered our core organizers and also our Darya Leela from Ukraine, who's taken shelter here. And we've got Vijayananda Prabhu and Saumya Sham Prabhu behind me here. And so I'm happy that you can meet them and they can meet you, because you are so many, not only in Brazil, but look, we've got all of our family here. And Saumya Sham Prabhu and Vijayananda Prabhu, they have arranged this ashram. In fact, by their energy and the building of the temple room that we are in now, which is getting closer and closer to completion, and where we've been having the programs. And so it is good that the movers and shakers, those who are active and doing things, can share with each other, and you can see them. You can see them, and they can see you. And just before I want that they will say a few words to share something, but I didn't know that I'd been at the Cliff of Mercy. I didn't know that was the name of the cliff. So thank you very much, Goranatha Rashu, for sharing just now. And I understand you had very special days last weekend over that time. And now I know I've been to the Cliff of Mercy. Hare Krishna. I don't know what that means. Do people jump off it? I'm not sure. But these two were telling me how they rescued two different people, right? Who jumped to commit suicide. They rescue here in Limerick. Yeah. Anyway, okay. They're not going to tell you that story today, but they told me in the car. We went yesterday after the program. We went for a drive, and they show where people jump off the bridge to get mercy. So anyway, Cliff of Mercy or Cliff of Grace. I wasn't aware that we were there. Hare Krishna. Who would like to say something? Vijayananda Prabhu, you've been volunteered by Samyasham Prabhu.
You've been sacrificed this morning.
Huh?
Just we read this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. From the Guru and Krishna's mercy. Then was devotees first, sorry. From the mercy of Guru and Krishna, we get the seed of divine love, and that seed becomes the creeper of divine love and reaches the lotus feet of the Lord. And Guru, our Guru, is helping us to nurture that divine creeper. And the Vaishnava Aparadh is like a mad elephant which can uproot the divine creeper, the creeper of divine. Something you can explain.
Hare Krishna. And this is from this morning's reading. You see, everyday reading, whatever we remember from the reading, we can share with others. What do you remember, Saumya Shamprabhu? About anything? Oh, about Krishna.
All about
just something to share. You've got lots of devotees here.
Dandavats, devotees.
Yeah.
Devotees, Dandavats. Well, we were just talking earlier about one sentence.
Right.
Madhusudan Maharaj was asking us earlier about if you had one sentence to explain to somebody or tell somebody about Krishna. So he was going around the room asking one question at a time. So the room was there weren't too many people in the room, so the rounds were going very fast. So he was coming around each time asking the next question, the next question. So I did think of one thing, that like Krishna is looking for our heart. He's searching for our heart, and then that we have to open our heart to Krishna. So that was as much as I could reflect on at the time. So the Krishna is searching for our heart and to open our heart to receive Krishna. So, and that's what we're like. We're trying to practice that day by day, by associating with devotees, by following what our Gurudev says to us, and by serving what way we can, even though it's very small and that, but we do try day by day to help to receive what mercy that we can, to keep continuing each day. So, Jai Gurudev.
Jai. And Audarya Leela Devi Rasi bravely stood up to the camera as well. And her origin in our family was Veda Life Festival in Kiev. In what year? 10 years ago or something. Quite a long time ago. And now she's a refugee, and Ireland has been very kind to her, especially kind because she's able to be with the devotees. And now she's actually come all the way from the other side of the country to be with us. I know Ireland is not as big as Brazil, but still, it's at the other side of the country. Several hours by public transport. Here's Audarya Leela.
Hare Krishna. Well, what can I say? I know that my family, my spiritual family, is my treasure. for you. And so I came here to my brothers, and I feel how they love me, and I feel like I don't deserve it, but you can't deserve love, like generally, but it's so giving like warmth and some hope to your hearts. I'm so glad to come here, and also they are contagious because they are doing a lot of seva. And when I'm around them, I also like, oh my God, yeah, I was gonna do something, and I feel so happy about it that I'm getting this the best service mood example. So yeah, I'm aware how fortunate I am. So I just try to appreciate it as much as I can. I wish to appreciate it more, to be honest. Hare Krishna.
And some of you actually may met her. I'm not quite sure, because when she first came from Ukraine, she was in the took shelter in Srila Govinda Ashram, where she was there for several months, quite a long while. Hare Krishna. Do you have any question for any of us? We are here to serve.
We have a question from Uriel Maharaj. And yes, I
What?
remember Didi from Villa Govinda Ashram. We
thought
met there.
probably
Yeah,
you
we
would,
met
yeah.
there. And we have a question from Uriel.
Oh, yes.
He's a friend of Gauranga Maharaj Prabhu.
Join.
Saudações, Hare Krishna. Deixa eu abrir minha tela aqui para ver todas. Saudações, Maharaj. Gratidão primeiro a Krishna, permitir que tantas almas bondosas se manifestem aqui na Terra para poder auxiliar tantas outras pessoas aqui na Terra. E gratidão ao Senhor por permitir ouvir o caminho do seu coração e se manifestar e caminhar e estar aqui contribuindo com todos nós aqui. Maharaj, só um segundo, gente, não estou conseguindo achar a tela com ele. Sumiu, travou aqui na Ananda Lila, na minha tela. Como é que faz para voltar? E apareceu. Perdão. Aqui, pronto. Então, eu queria me apresentar sobre minha caminhada aqui, que culminou numa conexão muito mais profunda com Krishna. De como eu me distraí na escola Mayavada para poder chegar em Bhakti hoje em dia. Há uns cerca de 2 anos eu me aproximei da ISKCON aqui no Rio de Janeiro, e nos poucos eventos que eu fui eu não consegui ter tanta conexão, porque eu vi um estudo muito mecânico, as pessoas lendo em sânscrito, outros devotos tentando mostrar quanto que eles decoravam em tal verso, qual informação que estavam lá, as informações todas muito soltas, e eu não conseguia conectar com a mensagem do estudo, da Gita ou do Bhagavatam, e eu vi uma coisa pessoas mostrando um aspecto muito acadêmico e eu não consegui conectar com a mensagem. Ou então, quando queriam adorar as deidades, abriam as cortinas, todo mundo fazia reverência, fechava, e eu vi um protocolo acontecendo, eu me perdido naquele protocolo. Mas, por sorte, eu conheci também, eu vi o Kirtan, eu vi a Prachada, e isso começou a dar uma sementinha boa no coração. Eu acho que uma bídia começou a ser colocada ali, que ia se manifestar uns 2 anos mais para frente. Aí, nisso, eu segui viagem. Eu segui numa vida mais nômade, peregrinando. Me aproximei de Kriya Yoga de Babaji, morei num templo, numa ecovila, morei no andar de baixo, nessa ecovila, num templo de Shiva. E nisso eu vi uma prática de um sadhana muito interessante, de umas práticas de os asanas de yoga, depois focados na sequência de fazer meditação. Só que aí, com o tempo que eu fui entendendo, nos 5 meses que eu estava lá, que eu fui entendendo que ali o foco era puramente elevação da energia Kundalini para despertar dos Siddhas. E a prática ficava nesse lugar. E eu tentava trocar com a liderança, fazer muitas perguntas mais profundas, de conhecimentos elevados, e eu não conseguia obter respostas. O pessoal só focava no sadhana e nada com conhecimento elevado. Fui entendendo que ali também não era o meu caminho. Com o tempo, eu fui me aproximando e eu cheguei numa escola que eu só conhecia até então como Advaita Vedanta. E nisso, isso foi me aproximando muito no coração. Isso foi não no coração, mas foi me nutrindo de um lugar de guiana que eu precisava muito. E fui estudando cada vez mais em Guiana, até que eu fui entendendo que alguma coisa começou a me incomodar muito depois de uns meses de estudo. E aí que eu fui entender que o meu chamado ali para mim não era sobre Advaita Vedanta, porque eu comecei a entender o Prayodhana, a meta última. Eu falei, não, esse ponto final desse ônibus eu não quero chegar nessa estação final. É como se eu tivesse entrado por uma viagem, me inscrito por uma viagem, e quando chega na hora de entrar, eu falo, poxa, legal, para onde que a gente vai? Aí a pessoa na porta do ônibus fala, olha, para onde a gente vai eu não vou te contar, mas tem gente que está lá dentro que gosta. Se você quiser embarcar, eu só não vou te falar para onde que é. E eu entrei nesse ônibus. Aí no meio do ônibus que eu entendi que o ponto final era totalmente personalista e sem amorosidade. Eu falei, opa, não, eu não quero continuar aqui não. E nisso eu fui entendendo que o que me chamava atenção, no caso, eram os Vedanta Sutras, era o conhecimento de Vyasa. Isso era limitante assim, para mim, de estar somente nisso. Os conhecimentos de Shankaracharya não eram o que iam me nutrir. Eu estou falando muito rápido? Perdão. Estou um pouquinho nervoso, gente, para poder falar em público, desculpa. E nisso que eu fui conectando com esse estudo, é, eu estava em Paraty, na cidade onde eu moro hoje. É uma linda cidade do interior aqui do Rio de Janeiro, uma cidade turística, que estava tendo um festival de yoga de uma maneira geral. E lá quem estava nessa cidade era o amigo Goura, que a gente já se conhecia, e lá ele comentou que ia estar por lá. E lá a gente se conectou, fomos conversar. E nisso que eu fui conversando com o amigo Goura, e também teve um kirtan, um cortejo Hare Krishna. Ali eu entendi Krishna no coração, de estar no kirtan, no cortejo, e eu chorar muito, de entender, de não entender, sem entendimento, mas um sentimento muito forte de saudade de Deus que eu não sabia que existia. Sem pensar em nada, eu só apenas sentia aquela vontade de comunhão e um pranto muito forte e uma sensibilidade no coração. E, em paralelo a isso, conversando com o amigo Goura, a gente ficou conversando muito, eu trazia várias questões, algumas dúvidas que eu vim da perspectiva do Advaita, e ele conseguia trazer de um aspecto ainda mais elevado, com perspectiva, com a perspectiva Vaishnava, de como isso também estava contemplado dentro disso, como que Krishna contemplava todas isso. Isso foi me acalentando muito o coração. Foi me contando as histórias de Srimad Bhagavatam e eu chorava muito. Quando ele foi contando sobre Shuka Goswami, e quando foi falando sobre a misericórdia divina de trazer os ensinamentos em 7 dias para o rei, para poder alcançar a liberação, como isso mexeu no meu coração, uma grande sensibilidade dentro disso. E sentindo um lugar de, é aqui, esse é o caminho que você estava procurando há tanto tempo. Com essa conexão, com essa amorosidade, com Deus presente disso tudo. E aí dentro disso, para fechar, concluir a minha fala, eu fui me aproximando dos estudos. E nisso fui olhado para o Bhagavatam e eu queria muito entrar em contato, só que para mim eu tenho dificuldade com a leitura. Eu não tenho a disciplina. Eu já vejo esse lugar há muitos anos da minha vida. Ler, eu me perco. Me distraio, eu perco a disciplina, mas ouvindo funciona muito. E nisso eu fui buscar informação sobre... fui buscar material sobre pessoas que fizessem uma leitura do livro. E no Brasil encontrei umas 2 pessoas que pararam no primeiro canto, no Srimad Bhagavatam, com os comentários de Srila Prabhupada. E para mim está sendo maravilhoso, porque eu estou ouvindo, estou me nutrindo muito, 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 muito de ouvir as histórias, de ouvir os comentários de maneira totalmente fidedigna. Porém, esses estudos são limitados ao primeiro canto. E eu quero prosseguir nisso. E nisso me despertou muita vontade, eu compartilhei até com um amigo Gora, e ele falou, cara, isso é muito legal, vamos aqui, vamos trabalhar essa ideia, vamos compartilhar com o Maharaj também, ele me incentivou muito a estar aqui compartilhando isso, que eu venho do audiovisual, e eu venho com a habilidade de inteligência artificial e tudo mais, e eu vejo o quanto que eu consigo criar um audiobook, a versão de áudio da própria escritura. E eu consigo pegar um pouco da inteligência artificial, de pegar o texto totalmente fidedigno, natural, e transformá-la numa voz natural que dá para a pessoa ouvir, e fazer o processo acontecer de uma maneira muito mais rápida do que se eu fosse gravar um ser humano por vez e ficar vários anos no processo. Eu consigo encurtar isso a poucos meses. E talvez em pouco tempo ter alguns cantos já propriamente já gravados para podermos escutar e ter isso disponível na língua portuguesa, inicialmente, de maneira totalmente fidedigna, e sendo um material de estudo para quem tem limitações ou um apreço de um lugar mais, talvez, artístico, ou de um lugar mais ouvido do que lendo. Então, é nesse momento que eu me encontro. Gratidão pela escuta.
Okay, Uriel. So, very good that Krishna, of course, very good of Krishna, but that Krishna brought you to such an appreciation of Srimad Bhagavatam and of the devotees, and you have a good friend in Gauranatha Prabhu, that he's helped you to focus into this direction. And when you see and hear Srimad Bhagavatam, you will understand that this is giving us the conclusion of all different kinds of yoga, so many proposals of the material world, and that it is the purpose of our human life to come to sweet Krishna, reality the beautiful. Now, as far as artificial intelligence and reading, I have very, very limited, I mean, almost zero experience or understanding. But we can say that in general, we like to hear things, or we are to hear things from the devotees. And maybe it takes longer to read, but when that is coming from the mouth of the devotees, then we also feel the devotee's heart and expression, because reading, when we are giving a talk or reading together, really it's transmission rather than words. And we've got examples of this in Chaitanya Charitamrita, where there is a certain devotee, he's reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita, but not understanding the words. He's not scholarly, he understood or misunderstood, pronounced properly, pronounced improperly, but it was transmitted into his heart, and he had tears constantly flowing down his cheeks. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used him as an example, that really everything is a transmission and is not a mechanical repetition. Like you were saying, some things you see is just formalities rather than the substance. So anyhow, Gauranatha Raju is your good friend, and we can also discuss a little bit about what is practical. But you might find that somebody already has spoken and read the remainder of Srimad Bhagavatam. But for us, we can get the essence of this from the books of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev, because we know it takes a long time even to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, what to speak of read it every day, but it takes much less time to come to the direct point, which Srila Guru Maharaj does very perfectly through his discourses, and which are recorded in the books, for instance, Search for Sri Krishna, Reality the Beautiful, Sri Guru and His Grace, Golden Volcano of Divine Love, the Lord's Loving Search for His Lost Servant. So many books, and Srila Gurudev, who's giving us Guru Maharaj, presented so many of these teachings also very clearly. And this, in particular, a book called Revealed Truth, which is there in Portuguese also. And so this will take much less time and bring us to the conclusion, the point, as quickly as possible. I know you're a young man, and you think we have, when we're young, we think we have all the time in the world ahead of us. But actually it is urgent. Like Shukadev Goswami had 7 days to live. It is urgent for us to try to get to the conclusion as quickly as possible. And not only to know the conclusion, but to live the conclusion, to put into practice. So good advice would be at this stage is to read, to hear, to go through again and again. First of all, search for Sri Krishna, Reality the Beautiful. And then in the order that the books of Guru Maharaj came, we can say Sri Guru and His Grace, and then Golden Volcano of Divine Love. And those 3 books you can go through repeatedly, and each time you will get more and more from there. And simultaneously, the book Revealed Truth by Srila Govinda Maharaj. So you can have as your nourishment in the morning one of those books, read it from beginning to end, then beginning to end. And then in the evening, if you're reading from Search for Sri Krishna in the morning by Srila Guru Maharaj, in the evening, go from beginning to end every day, for 15 or 20 minutes reading each day. Take part, digest it. Take part, digest it. That book, Revealed Truth of Srila Gurudev. So at this stage, at this time in your life, I would recommend that reading process, that hearing process. Others I can, or I'm sure have probably read these books in Portuguese in a recorded version. But reading is a kind of hearing, and we don't have to hear and read for a long time. We need to take it in short doses, as is the example given by our masters. We have masters as well as the books. And those masters, Srila Govinda Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, they've given us our quota for reading, that we're not just to study and study, but in the morning we're reading 2 books generally, 15 minutes and 15 minutes. In the evening we are reading 15 minutes like this. And this is the practice that was shown in our headquarters by Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev. And then we will digest that and assimilate that in our daily service activities. Like eating. We can't just take a giant meal and then that's going to have such a wonderful effect. We'll take smaller meals and digest, next meal digest, next meal digest. And then we grow up physically and mentally. But spiritually, it's kind of an analogy that we would take a smaller meal and digest day by day. And Srimad Bhagavatam, it's many verses, 18,000 verses. But these books will get you also with the mood of Guru Maharaj, the mood of Gurudev. They come through the books. Very applicable for this present age. So this is my recommendation. And artificial intelligence, somebody else can comment because I don't know. But we can say that, as a printing press prints books, then it may be possible or not, I do not know, that you'll get a perfect rendition of the expression and the words, the understanding. But the books, you see, ideally we will read in the company of others. this is the case. But your intention and your thirst and your good wish to distribute to others, to share, this is all very wonderful, and we're giving all encouragement and support. And here you are in the company of so many good souls right here. Honest people who only want an honest future. Their journey, they want honest guidance, an honest journey to our, like you said, prayojana. You know some of these expressions, to our destination. And by the way, Malati Priya did have a thumbnail up. Now she's got her photo. But the thumbnail was a signboard which she saw somewhere, where it said Govardhan, so much distance, and Vrindavan, so much distance. Wonderful thumbnail to have, Malati Priyadidi. I was impressed to see that. I thought, oh, who has this thumbnail? So well done. Hare Krishna. Oh my goodness, look at our time. So, dear devotees, you please, if you wish, you can continue in Portuguese for as long as you like. We are going to continue here. We have another program coming up for the devotees and public. We're doing just 2 days in Limerick, though yesterday evening was for me a surprise program with devotees coming from around and about, because I thought I'm just arriving on Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday are our main days. But Friday itself was a very happy day with the devotees. And then today again, we're going to be having another program, and we have to drive somewhere and drive back. So I'll leave you all together. And here we are. Oh, well, what happened to... Okay, they've gone to prepare. They're actually leading the programs.
Maharaj, just one word. Jai Srila Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai.
You tricked me. You've tricked me. But Jai, our masters, as we said at the very beginning, we're here to share Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar, Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, who is himself sharing, and we're trying to share Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rock Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, and Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who had a big heart and tried to get us all to understand the sweetness and beauty of Krishna, to Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, and to previous generation who they are representing and distributing and connecting us with, Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. All the assembled devotees ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai, and to all of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, from baby to all his last ecstatic symptoms all the way through, all given in Sri Chaitanya Charit Amrita, Sri Chaitanya Charit Amrita and Chaitanya Bhagavat ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari Bo. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Always appreciating being with you all. And Uriel, many thanks for your contribution, your sharing, your expression. Beautiful. Amra Ashchi. My 2 words in Bengali today. We are coming. Hare Krishna.